we're charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own. You made it.
Hello, once again, welcome to Code Home Classroom. It's a pleasure to see you all here back again. And today we are going to continue from where we left off. Okay, and a quick one. I've already designed a nice UI for us to go through. Now, uh, design the UI with you takes a lot of time in the tutorial section, of which we don't want it to happen. Okay, we want our tutorial to be only maximum 25 minutes. So I'm going to tell you the software I used to design this mockup. In our previous tutorial or in our previous lecture, I introduced you to an online mockups platform, the mockup.com, whereby we created our website, this template, and we coded it alongside. Now this software is Adobe XD. Okay, now Adobe has a lot of product. Adobe Photoshop, Adobe, I know if you've heard of Photoshop before. So most of the Adobe products are bought, but some of them are also free and people don't know them. So I'm introducing you to Adobe XD. Okay, so go to their personal website and go and download Adobe XD. Okay, Adobe XD, and basically this is for free and you can use it to design your mockup. So these are the tools here. You just use a tool to rectangle. I use a rectangle tool to draw all these things. Okay, draw the button, draw the input fields, and this is the text, to write the text in there. Okay, and when you select it, you can choose to change the color down here, the fill color, the background. So this is for the button. Okay, if I'm supposed to select this one, you see the fill is black, but I'm supposed to select this one, and see the fill is green. Okay, so basically just use this small tools here to just design this whole thing. Okay, and that's what I want to introduce you to. Okay, so this Adobe XD. Remember, I'll leave the link to download the Adobe XD down there. Okay, down below for you to download it and install. It's free with a small size, and you can use to do all these, play around them, and to design this wonderful UI. So I told you in this lecture we are going to start with external CSS, how we can create our CSS in a different file and import them into our main HTML page, so that the styling will be applied to our HTML elements. Okay, so this is going to be our work. Okay, this is going to be our work for today. This is going to be our work for today, how we are going to achieve this beautiful login screen. Okay, login page, simply coding HTML and CSS. Okay, and I'm going to introduce you to a lot of nice things. Okay, like linking between pages, all in this tutorial. Okay, I told you that our course is a very practical course. Don't expect more theories that I'll go through with you with A theory, B theory, C. No, it's a hands-on lecture. So when we come to the class, we pick a project and we achieve it. And by explaining and doing more, building more projects, I know that you will get used to it. Okay, you get used to it. If I teach you the theory of flying a plane and you don't actually fly a plane, you can't tell me that you're a pilot. Okay, so that's what I want to tell you. So we will go straight into our code. And this is what we did for the last time, but I'm not going to delete this code. Okay, what you are going to do is that I'm going to show you how to link from one page to another page. Okay, I'm going to show you how you can link from this page to another page. So let's say this is our main page, which is the index. Okay, so I'm going to introduce some new elements in there, and with that element, whether a link element, or that's a hyperlink, okay, element there, or I'll use a button to also link to the login page for you to know how to move from one page to another page on your website. Okay, so let's go and have some fun. I hope you can see my screen, you can see the code. So the last lecture I spoke of the internal CSS, yes, and that's what we have over there. Now on this page, if I want to create another page, okay, if I want to create another page, just have to right click on the HTML folder. You see new file, click on the new file, say new file has been created. Okay, now inside here, this is going to be our login page. So I'm going to save this page as Ctrl S and save this page as login.html. Okay, now always remember that our basic HTML code, when I do the less than to type HTML, I can hit on the tab key and to give me the basic template from lecture 2, I believe. Tab key, my basic template has been given to me. Okay, now you can just come back here and come and copy the title in there and paste it here. But we don't need a CSS. We will not do the internal CSS, since I told that this lecture we are going to do external CSS in here. Okay, there will be an external CSS. That means we will not add a CSS to this page, but to be a different new page with only CSS codes in there, and we're going to import it onto this page. Okay, now how do we then link from this page, the index page, to the login page? So there's an element called hyperlink. Okay, hyperlink, and I'm going to introduce you to it. So under the about us, I hope you can see my screen. Under the about us, for you to set a hyperlink element, the same the tag is a. Okay, a less than a, you hit the tab key, and that's the hyperlink. Now let's say in between the a, that's where your content goes. So login page. Now the href is the reference to the page, or the the link that you want to move to. Okay, this place, that's why you put the link there. Okay, yeah, so let's save it and go and see our I'm going to refresh our website. Okay, so yes, you can see that down here we have login page. Now when I click on it, you can see that the page is trying to refresh. It wants to move to that particular page, but there's no link under, so it still remains on the same page. Are you here with me? So let's go back to the code. Yeah, okay, so we are to know that we are in the same folder. Okay, we are in the same folder. So all that I need to do is to write login.html. That means when I click on this page, take me to the login.html page. So inside here, I'm going to write a text there. Hello world. So that when you come on this page, you know that we are on this page. And save your work. And let's go to the browser. Go and refresh. And let's click on the login page. Voila. So you can say you are on the login.html page now. Forgive me, I nearly said PHP. We'll get there. You'll get there. And so let's go back. How do we then come back? You come back by putting another hyperlink here on the login page. Okay, so let's say on this login page we have a home page. Okay, and we just have to, on the href, inside the href, we just have to enter the home page link, which is the index.html. You save it, you go to the browser, you go and refresh, When we click on the home page, it takes us to the home page. When we click on the login page, it takes us to the login page. Okay, so that's how to link from one page to another. Okay, that's from how to link from one page to another. And I'm going to make this tutorial very short. Okay, I'm going to make it very short so that you can cope with it. At most 25 minutes, and I'll do another lecture. Okay, so I've introduced you to the hyperlinks. Okay, I've introduced you to the hyperlinks, and our next section is to design this wonderful login page on the login page. Okay, so you can see that we have a box which is our body, and inside the body we have another panel there with our login on it, enter username, enter password, with our button on there. Okay, let's go to the code. So I want us to set the color of the body. Consider the background. You can see that the background has the body has a color on its own. Okay, so first we want to set the color of the body, but we are not going to do, we can do inline, which is the adding the star attribute. We can do inline, okay, by adding a star attribute here and say background color and add a color to it. And now I know the color code, so I simply just have to go into the software and go and pick the color code from here. I'm coming. So that's the color. I just have to copy, come to the code, paste it here. So when I save it and we go to the website, let's refresh. Voila, we have our color for the background. But this is not what we are looking for. We don't want to do anything. We don't want to do anything inline, okay, or internal. This lecture is to introduce external CSS by coding all your CSS styles on one page and importing them onto the page. That means that we can code all our CSS in one particular file, and any page that we create, okay, whether login, whether register.html, we simply have to import the CSS file, and we can use some of the things that we have there, some of the designs that we have there. Else, and if we do internal CSS, as I was saying in the other lecture, what we have to do is that we have to copy this one and paste it here. And every page that you create, you have to come and copy the style and paste it there. But when you code in one CSS page, on one CSS page, we can equally import them here and also import them here, but it's just the same file. Okay, so you just need to code once and you can import on any other file that you create or any other page that you create. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you to CSS. So one of the things is that as a developer, you should always know how to organize your directories. Okay, when I say directory, I mean folders. Okay, know how to organize your directory. Our project is HTML. Inside the HTML, we have index and the login page. Now, if you want to create a CSS file, we can equally say new, right click on the HTML and say new file and create a CSS file. And mind you, because it's a CSS file, the extension is .css, not .html. So let's say style.css. Now we can add them here, but that is not a good practice. Okay, it can equally work, but that's not a good practice. What you'll be doing is that you'll be adding all your files together, and if you don't arrange them, when you come back, when you leave your code for let's say a week or two and you come back to this code, now you have a long queue, okay, a long queue of files, and you have to go through the files one by one, and it's not going to help you. Okay, so what you're going to do is that you're going to create directories or folders, okay, inside the HTML, and to organize our files. Okay, now if this is our website and we are keeping the index login here, yes, that's the code, but that's the first folder the browser hits. That's the HTML folder. Okay, so we can keep the pages here, but if you have any other file which is not an HTML file, the best practice is to create a directory, okay, a folder, and put those files in there. Okay, so you're going to create a folder called, so right click on the HTML and click on the new folder. Instead of the new file this time, click on new folder and name the folder. So down there, down your Sublime Text, that folder name has come down there. If you check down there, you can see that there's a folder name panel open for you. So just type CSS. Okay, click enter. Now you can see that our CSS folder has been created. I don't know whether I can drag it and put it in. No, Sublime Text can't make me do that. So I'm just going to delete it. Right click on it, click on delete file, and delete the file, the CSS file. And right click on the CSS folder, new file. That means you want to save a new file inside the CSS folder, okay? And save the file as style.css or amma.css or james.css, any name you want to save it as. But I'm going to stick to style.css, okay? It's a common practice. So if tomorrow any developer wants to new developer wants to use my code, he can, just by seeing the naming convention, okay, naming conventions, he can just understand my code, okay? So this is style.css, and mind you, we can just start writing our CSS files here, and it's just, I told that all that you have to do is the element. I hope you can see my screen. Yeah, the curly braces, the property colon, you terminate the line of that line with a semicolon. I mean, this whole line is a different code from the next line which will be coming. Yes, and the value goes in here. So the same thing, we write all our CSS file codes in this file, and after that we import them here. So I'm going to delete this background style, that's inline styling, from there, and save the work and show you inside my browser. Refresh the browser again. Fantastic. So let's go back to our code. Forgive me. Yeah, Sublime Text. I want to copy the color code, lest I forget. Okay, now let's go to our CSS. Now mind you, the element that you want to work on is the whole website page, okay, which is the body, and you want to change the background color of the body. So in the style.css, the element that we are selecting is style, is body, curly braces, okay, background color. I paste my color in the color code, I save it. Now I've saved my body background color in my style.css. Let me come and save the login page and see whether it will affect the changes. Nope, it's still not working. Now it's because we've not linked the CSS file to this page. Okay, we've not linked the page, the file to this page. You can see there's no style.css in this code, so we've not imported it. We have to just import. Okay, just like if you are, maybe you are editing a video and you want to add a certain picture to it, you have to go to file, you click on import, you have to import that particular file into your video editor before you can use it in editing. That's how it works. You have to import the CSS file onto your login page before it can work. Okay, yes. So inside the head, because it's not part of the website, so that everything on the website, in the website, goes inside the body, but everything which is not part, most of them goes inside the head. Okay, so inside the head, we come here, there's an element to use to link files, okay, link CSS files, and the element is link, as simple as that. Just click on tab and Sublime CSS will do everything for you. So the relation, the rel, the relation means that it tells us that it is a style sheet, okay, and the type of style sheet is a text, and it's a text, but it's CSS text, and that's cascading style sheet, okay, CSS. And the href, as I showed you earlier here, href is used to tell us the link, okay, the link, okay, the link of that particular file. So if the link is Facebook, you can write www.facebook.com here, but because the file is already in our folder, we'll just link it from our folder. Now let's try to link the file. The file name is star.css. Now let's save it and see whether it will work. You couldn't see my site. Okay, so this is the body. I've imported the background color inside, okay, and in order to link it, my bad, so in order to link the star, you see, when I save this page, okay, and we go inside the browser, it wasn't working, okay. Now we have to link this star.css to the login.html. So inside your head, we link it here by using the link element. Click on the tab key, and the style sheet is a style sheet. The relation means it's a style sheet. The type is CSS. So here the link goes in here, okay. And let me say star.css and save this file and see, and go to the website, refresh. It's still not working, okay. How do you then debug the error? Why we've typed the CSS in there, star.css, but it's still not working. Now when you go to the website, let's go right click on the website, click on view page source. You can see that view page source makes you view the code that you've written, okay. Yes, so you see this is our code. Fantastic. But this is our CSS file. Let's click on the CSS file and see, star.css, and see whether our file is really important, okay. Now when we click on it, your file was not found. That means we didn't import it well, so the browser is not seeing that file. That's why our changes, the background color is not working. So let's go back into our code and go and import the file well, okay. Go back to the code. But you also said, but just there. No, it's because the file is not part of the, the file is not inside the HTML folder. The file is in CSS folder, okay. If the file was right inside the HTML folder, whereby you can see index.html, you can see the login.html, and you can see star. Then that means you can just add it like this. But because it's in a folder, the link should come with the folder name css//style. That means you are telling the browser that go inside the CSS folder and you go and look for style.css. So let's save this file. Let's go to our browser. Let's refresh. Now when we click on this one, we should be able to see the style.css code in our browser. You can see that means it is working. So let's go to our website and go and refresh. You can see that our style is working, okay. So you can just close the inspect element. It's working. So basically this is how to link a external CSS file. So in our next tutorial, we're going to continue with developing the login UI, user interface, okay. So I'll see you in the next lecture. Bye bye.
You meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide in shadows in the atmosphere, charting